All right, without further ado, and there we go. Spawning in the top right, the Protoss in pink from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. It is ZEST. And spawning in the bottom left, in the red, his teammates and opponent. Playing as the Terran pieces, it is Cure. Game at number 1 on Jagannatha. Always a fun game. I gotta be honest, I don't, for me personally, I've never liked playing on Jagannatha, but it's so fun to watch matches on here. It's always a crazy time. There's never like a normal game, it feels like, on this map. People just do some of the crazier things, and you would expect for it to be a more long, drawn-out game on this map, but we do see just some crazy, like, proxy builds. We see, you know, this wonky stuff altogether. So I'm expecting to see something like that. Now, Cure, or excuse me, ZEST, sitting across his probe, looking to get some harassment done onto the barracks of Cure. Starts trying to focus down the SCV. Does get 2 SCV pools. So there we go. On the other side, we do see Cure going for the scout with his own SCV. Wants to see, you know, is ZEST going to be aggressive? Is he going to kind of play back? Where is he really wanting to go with this? But behind it, eventually will take his expansion. And getting the Reaper on its way as well. Now behind this, we do see the Cybernetics core. We see the expansion coming down. And Cure going to scout this out, sees that that is going to be an expansion. Finally, Cure getting his own command center down, which will allow him to keep up the pressure. Now, behind this, Marine is going to be the follow-up for Cure. And again, Cure wants to make sure that he is not getting proxied here. Sees that there's no proxies around. I think eventually we'll send it across, but we'll see. I mean, definitely the way that ZEST is opening up could suggest that he's going to go into some kind of Stargate play. But in fact, it is going to be the Twilight Council. So eventually Blink, maybe Charge going to be coming through. More than likely going to get Charge as well. It's kind of like Combat Shields and Stim for Terran. You just get Blink and in Charge altogether. So second gateway going to be coming down with a Twilight Council almost finished up. Finally, we do see Cure going into the factory and eventually going to go into that starport. Now, is he going to go into a mine drop? I think so. We see the first mine on the way. Blink is being researched. And on a map like Jagannatha, obviously we have this big open space in the back, which really can utilize you know, any type of flying unit, which actually surprises me why we don't see Stargate coming out from ZEST. You know, Oracles could get in there, Void Rays could get in there, and then get out and recall home. But instead, he is choosing to go into the robotics facility. He's got Blink, so looking to go into that Immortal play, and I guess against what Cure is doing here, right? The mine drops, going into something like the robotics facility, one, allows him to get observers to be able to see those, so he doesn't have to make cannons, he doesn't have to make a forge right away. He can get the upgrades and stuff later, right? As well as he can make immortals behind it. The big thing about what Cure is doing is this. If you do not get the damage done and just gets completely shut down, it almost feels like you are behind because of the investment, or the, I guess, delay, if you want to call it, of going into a mine drop. You're not getting as many units as you probably could. You're not getting defensive units. You're just kind of putting into a few, you know, mines. Alrighty, we see ZEST with the Stalkers kind of out in position, wants to make sure if anything comes his way, he is going to be prepared. And in fact, I think he actually sees it. Yeah, he does. He sees the drop coming in and immediately should be sending some units up here. In fact, he does. He has 2 Stalkers on the way. Gonna see the medevac dropping in. Gets 1 down, the 3rd down, and eventually will blink back. Now, these Stalkers have used their blink, and it's going to be on cooldown for just a minute, but now the blink back. And yeah, just not going to get that much stim. Now, this does kind of keep ZEST at a defensive position for the time being, so there's still a chance here for Cure to kind of build back up into it. We see him going into those extra barracks. Eventually we'll go into the double tech lab opening, be able to start getting stim, getting that combat shields, and kind of going from there. Now, ZEST has the robotics facility, could potentially go into a robotics bay behind this, go into Colossus, go into Disruptors, and ZEST, even with the Warp Prism, just going to warp in some more units here, and eventually look to put some harassment into the main base. But already there's mines, there's tanks, or excuse me, Marines and tanks. It's a lot of mines. And now ZEST ready for an attack. There is one single tank on the bottom ground. Going to focus down onto the bunker. Takes it out easily. Eventually we'll have to back up here, as this takes too many pot shots. But this has kind of forced Cure down at the bottom. The main base now open. And it looks like ZEST going to try to pounce on the opportunity as it presents itself. There is a tank in the high ground though, so he does have to be careful. But looking to kind of pull the Marines out of position. Eventually we'll go ahead and back up. Does not want to lose all of his units to that. We'll see. Let's make a couple of stalkers into the War Prism. Behind this, charge is on the way. Templar Archives adding on 5 more gates for a big splurge of units to be able to kind of follow up for a big attack. And what do we see from Cure? Well, he's got stim about done. +1 is on its way. And then we do just see more and more barracks. Kind of interesting. He's throwing the barracks down here, though. Okay. Goes ahead and blinks back as Cure is slowly starting to push out with his tanks, with his Marines, trying to get in a fairly good position. Now, Templar Archives just finished up. We will, in fact, see some more, some High Templar. We've got Storm on the way. I think eventually he could go into Colossus behind this, but it looks like he's just going to mass up into like a charge lot Archon High Templar style. Gets the medevac, only loses a couple of stalkers. Observer going to be floating around, wants to keep an eye on this and get the high field advantage. Let's be careful though. Those Marines in this number are going to be very deadly. Now behind this we do see ZEST coming through with the Zealots. He's got a couple of High Templar. No combat shields yet for the Marines, but I don't think he's even going to need it. The tank's getting in a pretty solid defense position. Overcharge has been activated. Archon's going to be morphed in here, and there's still a couple of High Templar left. Immortals are on the way here. But this is a very scary push. Bunker's going to be going down for extra measure. And it feels like ZEST just cannot attack into this very well. Zealot's going to get on top of everything. Storm's going to go down, but a very nice pull coming out here from Cure. Guardian Shield goes down onto that Sentry. Eventually gets taken care of. And there's just not enough here. ZEST pulling in with this as much as possible. Cure only at 25 workers, though. He sent basically everything across, getting 24 kills. So this is kind of all in. That's the only big thing here for Cure is if this gets shut down, he really doesn't have a big economy to fall back on. Looking to get on top of the Nexus. More stalkers blinking in, getting on top of one of the medevacs. The other medevac makes it out alive. 13 probes end up falling. These tanks are slowly into range, getting those leapfrogs forward with the tanks, pushing ZEST back even more. Another scan goes down as we do see a small force looking for a surround here, but the reinforcements from Cure might be a little bit too much. Zealots getting on top of the Marines and now trying to get on top of the tanks. The Stalkers blinking forward, but more Marines behind this. Does take out 2 tanks and backs up, but he just does not have a huge economy behind this. Cure just keeping the siege, the pressure on towards all of this. ZEST trying his toughest, gets the Nexus though. Zealots eventually going to be warped in to try to pounce on this once again, blinking forward with the Stalkers to get on top of the tanks. The probes being pulled to try to help deal with this. The second tank does go down, but just too much behind all of this, and 14 probes go down, evening things up a little bit more. And now the third base is under fire of the ZEST, blinking forward, going to pick off a couple more Marines, but he has to be careful. These tanks are crucial. This might actually be the play for him. Besieging up. Unable to get it. Archon's coming through. And just a small parade push coming through now for Cure. As ZEST trying to hold on as much as possible. Overcharge being activated once more. The tanks looking to get attacked by the Zealots, but not going to be enough. A little bit of friendly fire, not going to hurt them too much. Archon's trying to come in here. Some good feedbacks onto the medevacs to try to even things up, but there's just so many tanks here. And I think ZEST slowly starting to fall behind at 6 Marines, or excuse me, 6 Army supply to 36. I mean, maybe if he somehow manages to hold this off, I would be really surprised considering how much that Cure has. Once again, shuts down the shield battery. Stalker's trying to get on top of this. Archon going to come in here, going to get on top of the tank. Yeah, unfortunately not able to get it. The War Prism does go down. Archon eventually going to be taken out. GG's. And we see Cure taking game number 1 here. There we go. Spawning in the bottom left in the ink. From Dragon Phoenix Gaming, the Protoss, ZEST. And spawning in the top right in the blue, the Terran from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. It is Cure. Alrighty, so game number 2. ZEST was looking okay, but Cure was playing pretty defensively, right? We saw him going with the tanks, position them in just a way that we wouldn't have to worry about the craziness, I guess, of the blink style that ZEST loves to do. We'll see here in game number 2 if maybe ZEST can change things up and go for maybe like a Stargate play. I don't know. I think maybe Oracles would do a little bit better. Of course, Cure was shut down from ZEST. I mean, when Cure tried to come in with the Widow Mines, I mean, he didn't get any damage done. The blink was already done by that time. We just seen ZEST just kind of blink out of the attack, right? Shut it down. So ZEST doing fairly well. We'll see if he can make a comeback. I think he just took too many pot shots. It started off taking too many pot shots from the tanks, and then from there we really saw him start kind of falling apart once he got the initial attack done. Like Cure, able to set up the bunkers, able to set up his tanks, put him in such a good position that it really kind of forced ZEST into this awkward angle. So expansion on the way for Cure. You see ZEST looking to go for a proxy pylon. Expansion being taken, and if you are Cure, you're like, okay, where's your extra pylon? I only see one here. There must be a proxy somewhere, and we should see, yes, the Reaper making its way around. I don't know. It doesn't look like he's actually going to scout this out, though. Maybe if he jumps up here, he'll see it, but yeah, okay, he's jumping up there. He heard me. He heard me talking. He's like, hey. So yeah, I mean, he sees the proxy pylon. It's going to be a Twilight Council follow-up. I don't know. I don't know if necessarily he's wanting to go for, like, a hidden tech there. I guess maybe it's going to be more of a warp-in point, right? Because you can warp in some Zealots down here and just kind of start sending them towards the third base. Or even some Stalkers. Especially if you're going to be going into, like, a blink play up here. Which we do have the Twilight Council coming down for ZEST. Actually almost finished up at this point in Cure. Just now getting his factory up. Going to be going into mines once again. Followed up by the starports, so looking to go for another mine drop. The Reaper does come in here. I don't think he really scouted that much, though. Yeah.
Is under attack.
He hasn't scouted the Twilight Council, so he's not really sure about that, but with the Stalker in position, it does kind of force Cure in a defensive position, not knowing exactly what is coming his way. Blink is not done. It's actually just kind of started for ZEST, so he can't really engage with the Widow Mines. But this does at least delay, I would say, a little bit. Cure definitely going to be a little bit more hesitant to move out, but it shouldn't hinder him too much. Warp Gate Tech about finished up, but you see another gateway coming down. Finally, the pylon in front. for ZEST. They're going to go back into that robotics facility once again. So ZEST going into that Blink style play. Again, this is another map with open areas into the bases. So any kind of air tech going into the bases is going to be very crucial. A little bit different though. You aren't going to be able to get out too far from here from the top. But other than that, should be okay. What is that? Huh. There's like a dweller or something there. That's crazy. There, guys. Oh, okay, they're little holding cages. That's why. The Hydra. I was like, what the heck? Behind this, we do have the Raven on the way this time, as well as getting into tanks. Obviously knows that Blink is going to be a possibility. A couple of mines going to be going down. Blink is not here. Oh, no, it is. It is. I lied. Good micro coming out from both sides. ZEST able to pull a fast one onto Curious. Curious just trying to fumble those around. And yeah, not bad. Templar Archives on the way for ZEST. So looking to go into a quick storm this time. Getting the Observer. Eventually we'll go into, I guess maybe you could go into the same kind of play, but obviously already we got the tanks, we've got turrets everywhere, we've got the Marines, so I don't see anything like that getting done. Marines are going to go ahead and start sending themselves across the map, looking to put on some extra pressure. Does he just go ahead and take the scouting pylon out? Oh, don't think so. Charge on the way. Gonna try to blink in here, get some kills. Sees that there's no tanks on the bottom ground. There's only one at the top. It does go ahead and back up after 3 kills. Doesn't want to lose his stalkers just yet. And of course, Kier's still floating across the map with that medevac full of Marines. Now, Stim is just now started up at 6 minutes. And +1 is on the way. So already some delays coming out. Adding on additional barracks. And eventually we'll be able to start kind of building up more into that force. While ZEST is sitting at, you know, just a handful of stalkers, honestly. He's got a couple of High Templar being morphed in, 5 more gateways coming down, as well as he is starting to get into charge lot. He's got that storm about done. And it really does become a ticking time bomb for Kira now. The medevac barely survives with a handful of Marines, and you know, overall, not bad for him. 41 to 23 army supply at this point. Once the 5, 6 now gateways get down, oh my god, he's going to throw down 2 more. Jeez. 6 gates with it already 4. So he's going to be at a total of 10, right? Jeez. +1 finishing up. Got that concussive shells coming through. And just more tanks coming out from Kier. He really is playing a defensive position. He hasn't really pushed out. Like, he's done a couple of small drops, but for the most part, just staying at home. And this is allowing ZEST to build up. He's getting those forges down. He's getting more gates. Just crazy. He's at 7 with 1 more, so I guess 8. Finally, Warp Prism going to be on the way now. 4 ZEST is going to allow him to warp in, as well as kind of juggle around some of the High Templar. Sees that there is a move coming out, so these High Templar are going to find them some damage. Beautiful storms coming out. Even gets the feedback onto the Raven, taking it out instantly. We do see the Archons coming through. More Marines, though, starting to show up. The SCV's getting pulled with all of this. Cure going all in once again for a big attack. Behind this, we do have more High Templar. We've got Zealots warping in, Archons being morphed in. And the War Prism going to return back to try to help deal with this, but not a bad start coming out this time from ZEST, but unfortunately the tanks able to get a little bit too much damage done, and the Marines able to get on top of ZEST's army. Now here we come once again, the boys leading the charge. Storms do go down. Some beautiful storms once again, but unfortunately it looks like ZEST just does not have enough. He's going to go ahead and back up to his overcharge. Blinks forward with the Stalkers, going to allow the Zealots to get on top of the tanks, takes those out. A lot of the units here from Cure starting to get pretty low, but ZEST just does not have a whole lot. Not able to back up into the overcharge anytime soon, but now forces a pickup And for the moment, we see ZEST evening things up, clearing out the army. And after killing out 14 SCVs, Cure taps out. GG's. Alrighty, so game number 3 coming out. And I'm really kind of curious to see if we're going to have some of the same kind of game, right? ZEST is so much a Blink Stalker player. Actually have the barracks coming that just instantly gets scouted. ZEST, his game sense is too much. And obviously with them being teammates and practice partners, it's like, okay, you kind of expect it, right? You play so many games against your partner, you kind of know like what they're going to do. But ZEST is so much of a Blink Stalker player. Eventually he likes to get into that High Templar, like Archon style. But it's just, you know, what do you do? So Cure ends up making his barracks into the main base after getting scouted by a proxy. I think he was wanting to go into a like a marauder, slow marauder push kind of style. But instead, Nexus is going to go down. ZEST's going to send across the probe and get some scouting out. I don't think he's going to be able to like deny anything. Maybe he denies the CC, but maybe he just goes for a proxy. I would love to see him go for like a proxy Stargate in this situation. Says, okay, you know what? You want to do a marauder or like a proxy rack style against me? Let me go ahead and just throw down something crazy. I would love it. CC going to be built onto the high ground, knowing that the counterattack is a possibility from ZEST. There we go. That proxy pylon waiting around. Going to see what he goes into. And I think on a map like this, Stargate wouldn't be that bad. There you go. Cybernetics Core finishes up and waiting to see what he's going to throw down here. Like, he's obviously ready to push something. We'll see. Yep, it's going to be that Stargate. I like it. Manticide's definitely an interesting map. Just because of how it's laid out. You know, you got the minerals and stuff like that. We do see the Reaper coming across, looking to get into the main base. We'll be able to see kind of what is here. Sees that there's no tech, so maybe he suspects that there's some kind of proxy, or because of the delay, maybe that there's something else going on. But let's get 2 probes, not bad. Eventually loses the Reaper though, so no more scouting will be available at the moment, which is perfect for ZEST here, especially getting the Stargate. Oh man. So that's going to go up towards the top once again. Looking to put on another proxy. Sees that there's not been an expansion taken, so you've got to be kind of worried, right? If you are ZEST, like, there might be something going on. And yeah, finally now a third base, or excuse me, a natural going to be taken here for Cure. Behind this, ZEST sending in the Oracle. And again, Cure has not scouted this. He's only got a couple of Marines to defend against this. That's not going to be enough. Instead, ZEST going to start focusing down the SCVs. Gets 3 SCVs all together. Does he lose the Oracle? No, you don't lose the Oracle here, ZEST. What are you doing? Okay. He is able to make it out. Let's get a couple of shields regenerating. Gonna get another kill. And eventually just barely makes it out. Finally, the Reaper. Does he not even scout it? Oh my god, he doesn't even scout it. What a crazy play so far. So far, 4 SCVs do go down. That Oracle's still alive. Gonna go ahead and recharge its shields. Get more energy. And ZEST taking a third base behind this Cure. Trying to find this proxy. He has yet to find it. He has a tank in the natural. He's got a Cyclone on the way to deal with the Stargate play, but he's just all over the place. Already we see ZEST going into charge behind this, adding on additional gateways and setting up for a next attack. Really curious. He's not going for Blink this time. I guess maybe after charge he'll go into Blink, but for the most part just going to go into that Blink style, or excuse me, charge style. Adding on 4 gates altogether. That third base almost done. And Cure on the other side, just going into Marines. He's got Stim on the way. Does end up warding this way. Oh no, the Cyclone. Yeah. Gets a Revelate off, so that's going to be good for Zest, and he's just going to skedaddle his way on out of there. Now, interesting that he isn't adding on any more, like, Oracles. He's not adding on Phoenix. He's not doing anything else at the moment with the Stargate, so literally it's just going to be sitting there as he is transitioning more into this, like, Zealot-heavy style army, which I guess is really good, considering that he has kind of forced Cure into this heavy Marine-style play, but I don't know. Charge is almost done. Eventually, we do see a few more Zealots being thrown in here. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Templar Archive's on the way. Going to come back in with the Oracle. Going to get a couple more kills. Gets 3. And moves his way back. But this is a huge force coming out from Cure. Even sending, once again, a whole ton of SCVs as a meat shield. This is perfect for him. Scan does go down. We're going to see the Marines coming in here. The tank sieging up onto the mid-ground. Onto the ramp, excuse me. And, oh no. Oh no. The eBay block with a bunker. He's just building a wall. A second bunker, a third bunker. No. No, Cure. What are you doing? Oh man, the charge lot's not going to be able to get on top of the tanks, as it's just a huge wall being blocked off here. Such a good play coming out here from Cure. This is such a 5-head move. Yeah, the Marine's going to shoot from the back. Eventually going to make it through the barricade. But with the tanks hammering down onto the Zealots, they're just going to evaporate like butter. And the Sentries alone with their Guardian Shields, holding hands, scared for their lives. Across the map, we do see a... Oh, no. It wasn't even across the map. Because I'm an idiot. It was actually up here because he sent so many of his SCVs. And this is what we've been talking about. Each game, Cure has been doing this kind of SCV pool. And those SCVs are utilized for the shields on top of the shield that he already had, which was just the worst coming out for Zest, because normally he's been going into Stalkers, but going into just a heavy Zealot play against this many tanks, just not worth it. Archon's going to come down, it gets evaporated, and yeah, I think Zest is going to have to tap out from here, and Cure going to secure his second victory. Gets the third base, the natural already dead. And there we go. Yeah, I mean, he's going to keep warping in Zealots, but honestly, it is over. 37 supply. Zest falling apart. Had an interesting concept, but this could not get it done. Cure just doing such a good job. GG's. Alrighty, CC coming down. Cure trying to hold off the probe. Eventually the probe will back off. And behind this, a second pylon to kind of blockade this ramp off, which will be pretty good. This time not seeing a proxy pylon coming out yet from Cure, or excuse me, from Zest. While Cure is just going to go into a factory, and it looks like he's going to be setting up for another mine drop. So we'll see how things kind of transpire from here. Alright, so probe returns back home. Eventually we'll throw down another pylon in the front, be able to get his robotics facility, and go from there. Looking to go into Twilight Council, and probably going to be going back into that blink style. Obviously, you know, this is a really good blink spot. So we'll see where if he wants to maybe attack into there. Starport's going to go down. No mines just yet. He's just now getting his third base up, or excuse me, his second gas up. And there we go. Mines finally going to be starting. We do see Stalker's going to be the follow-up. Second gateway going down, and looks like we are going to go back to somewhat of a standard-esque game. So Blink obviously going to be the choice here from Zest. Sending up the Adept. Doesn't look like he will complete the Shade, but he is getting a nice kind of vision. Is there being extra gas taken? What is going to be here, right? Is it very marine heavy? Is it going to be, you know, just going into depots or SCVs? And it's going to be that robotics facility. So the big question is going to be, does he go into Observer? Or does he try to utilize the Warp Prism? Because he can go either way. curious. Third base on the way for ZEST. Does look like it's just going to be 3 mines coming out from Cure. Going to go across the map. Now this time, ZEST does not have stalkers out on the map, so doesn't exactly know that this is coming. But he does have a pylon that's scouting, so we'll give him a little bit of time, and he's not that far away from the base. Now Blink is about 10 seconds from finishing up, so by the time the mines get up here, it will be finished up, and we automatically see those stalkers coming in to try to deal with this. The probe's going to have to be pulled. And yeah, doing a pretty good job. Ends up getting a single mine. Blinks back. Another mine looking to be shot. Doesn't get the blink, though. But we'll be able to at least kill off 2 of the mines. 1 mine does make it out, though, so not bad. I mean, I guess trading a stalker and a probe for, you know, essentially the 2 mines, not bad. And of course, the observer going to be able to scout this out as well and sees how low that medevac is. Finally, we do see the War Prism going across the map now. See where he wants to go from here now. Already a tank. There's already Raven, so it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get in and do any damage. Oh, okay, that's a hallucinated War Prism. Oh my goodness. Even I got fooled. I got you baited. I thought it was a real one for some. I was like, why is it I thought it was like had boosts or something. I was like, why is it boosting? I didn't know it had boost. It's going to be charged on the way. We've got Templar Archives and more gateways, so it does look like ZEST starting to ramp up for another attack. Scan's going to go down towards the natural and see kind of where the army is, but or maybe go in for a drop. Yeah, it looks like maybe with the Raven, going to go for a little bit of a Raven drop. Storm on the way. And looks like another Marine attack on the way across with the tank. Does he send the SCVs, though, this time? Overcharge going to activate. Just too much damage, though, from the Raven turret, so going to be able to kill off 4 probes. Not bad. Does have the High Templar, but Storm's not done yet. So nice little push coming out here from Cure. Gonna get on top of this third base, tank in just range to be able to start attacking into the Nexus. Overcharge has already been utilized here, so a really good play. It's not gonna be able to utilize the overcharge, and eventually overcharge. Excuse me, the shield battery itself is going to just end up dying. Gonna get the third base as well, and we do have Immortals on the way. We've got additional gateways, and we've got Storm about 10 seconds away from finishing up. Gonna have to use the probes to pull on top of this. Getting on top with the Stalkers, focusing down the tank. The Zealots do not have charge yet. It's actually about 5 seconds away from completing, but at least he was able to take care of the tank. Now, Widow Mines is going to be the choice coming out here from ZEST, losing 13, or excuse me, from Cure, but losing 13 probes. Observer will be able to take care of the mine, and now finally a third base on the way for Cure behind this. He's got Ghost coming through. +1 is done as far as the attack upgrades go. And it looks like we're going to have another little drop going across with Widow Mines. ZEST wants to pounce on this as quickly as possible, but it does look like for the time being, Cure's just kind of transitioned out of tanks. He's not going to be too worried about it. Cure going into the main base now with the medevac of mines. Ooh, feedbacks go down. Oh no, oh no. Oh, that could have been so much worse than what it was. 4 probes go down. And it looks like, unfortunately, no mines will live to tell the tale. Ghosts are on the way. 3 ghosts at a time. Another mine drop coming through here for Cure. ZEST trying to hold on to the front and make sure that third base isn't taken, but he's having to retake his own third base at this point. And if this drop does come down, he gets a good scan, sees the army in this position, and you almost wonder, does he try to come back in with the Raven down here? There is no shield battery, so no overcharge is going to be available. Yeah, I think this is the call right here. They come in. Oh, the feedbacks, I didn't see it. Ah, beautiful. ZEST on another level. I know. I say on another level, and he's he's been doing these kind of crazy plays, but he's on another level for me, is what I'm saying. So building back up into this big, like, stalker force. He's got a handful of zealots and an immortal with this army. Looking to push down here towards the natural once again. The Marines aren't in position. They're actually down here on the third, so this will give him an opportunity. Oh no, they're on the ramp. Going to get stormed down. Feedback's going down onto the medevacs. Archon's going to be warped in here, and the Stalker's blinking back. There are no tanks with this army, so he might be okay. Guardian Shield does go down onto the sentries, but the snipes and the EMPs going down onto the army of ZEST. Just going to eliminate a lot of those shields, eliminating some of the energy as well. No more storms are available. Does force a pickup here, and I think ZEST pushing into this third base will allow this to be a little bit better for him. Killing off 22 SCVs. We did see another little mine drop going across. Gets 7 probe kills with it, but eventually will get taken care of. And now, Cure stemming up the ramp once again. Gets the Archon trying to form. And we will see ZEST backing off, but killing off 24 workers as he warps in a handful more of stalkers. Oh no. Oh, he only gets one more kill. And now we see a nice little counterattack coming out here from Cure, but ZEST just has too much stuff. EMPs do go off onto the army, making them a little bit more deadlier, eliminating all those shields, and ZEST's army is very, very injured compared to Cure's at this moment. So he has to be careful. ZEST's going to go ahead and warp in, blinking back, and just trying to pick off whatever units he can while he builds up another force. Only a few more stalkers, or excuse me, a few more zealots are in position. Finally, that third base is going to be taken up here, as this one down at the bottom had been kind of eliminated. And now we see Cure looking for another push up towards this third base location, clearing up the rocks to get himself in a better kind of situation as much as possible. And the ghosts, man, just have been so crucial here for Cure. They literally have saved him so many times, just making sure that the shields of these units are as empty as possible. Storms do go down for ZEST. EMPs looking pretty good, but now Cure just doesn't have a huge army, as more stalkers, more zealots getting warped in. Another good EMP goes off, but only hits like a couple of units there. Ooh, a little bit better that time. There we go. War Prism play, trying to come through here for ZEST, and doing a good job of just trying to make sure that he can get in a position to storm, feedback if he needs to, and try to keep those a little bit more safe. ZEST has to be careful, though. I think the good thing is because Cure is going more into the mines, that he doesn't have to worry about the siege ups. He doesn't have to worry about trying to pounce on top of these kind of crazy builds. But at least ZEST is going to be able to see everything coming. The EMPs, though, just really force ZEST to back up. And behind this, we just have a parade push of units coming across for Cure. You'll see where ZEST kind of wants to go from here. I don't know. I mean, the good thing is he is going into some missile turrets to kind of help with the observer. Yeah, he just shuts it down anyways. And we've seen nice little counterattack coming out from ZEST now, but is it going to matter? I mean, he wants to attack where the army is. Going to try to keep the, I guess, vision up here towards the top, but we do actually see the zealots coming in. Oh my goodness. Kills off the War Prism. That had a whole bunch of, oh my god. It had a whole bunch of High Templar in it, didn't it? Oh my god. Robotics Bay is on the way. We do have a couple of feedbacks going off. Eventually another High Templar does fall. And ZEST just, I don't know, man. These EMPs, though, from Cure have just been so intense. I don't know, man. Guardian Shield goes down. Another EMP onto the Zealots. And finally, Cure going to start making his way into the natural. A beautiful surround, though, coming out here from ZEST. Even though the EMP is getting on top of the Zealots, there's just a little bit too much here. Trying to EMP on top of the Archons. Disruptors are out. And the army here from Cure just getting completely eliminated. A small force coming through for Cure to try to even things up. Another huge disruptor shot, eliminating a good chunk of those Marines and Marauders. And now another push going into the main base. But unfortunately, the Zealots going to push this back. And ZEST fighting his way in this still. Can't go across an attack just yet. We see Cure taking a fourth base. The fourth base already on the way for ZEST. But, I mean, still just anybody's game at this point. We do see +2 being researched by ZEST, which will help a lot against the army that Cure has. Even getting the upgrade for the Disruptors. And just going heavy into Disruptors. And this is where it gets very scary for Cure, because now Cure is the one that's going to have to make sure he separates his army. So it's no longer going to be just ZEST trying to dodge mines, but it's going to be Cure dodging Disruptor shots. So we'll see from here where they want to go. Is ZEST just going to start clearing up rocks. He's getting that fourth base situated and set up as both players just trying to build back up. Now, the big thing right now is Cure does not have a big income. We actually just kind of see ZEST getting back down as he is getting ready to take a fourth base. So he's not going to be able to remax real quickly. ZEST does have a few scouting pylons to see where the army is. Going to come down here with another attack. Widow Mines going to get baited out. And yeah. I think the big thing is like, doesn't have a whole lot of ability down here. So you can go for a run by. Gets the SCVs, backs up. And yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the win here for ZEST, is if he can get some damage done with these run bys. Another EMP goes off. Gets on top of the Widow Mines with the Disruptor shots. And oh, that could be a good play. Cure wanting to go for these multi-prong attacks, and ZEST just doing a good job of trying to fend off on both sides. He does return back towards the bottom to essentially just try to shut this down. This does give an opportunity, though, for Cure to start making his way up here. But he has High Templar in position, so in the way that the choke is presented, could get some storms off. Some pretty nasty storms, in fact. And there we go. We start seeing the move across here. Feedback should go down. Storm's going to blockade this off. And we will see another big warping of Zealots. Another good storm. EMP's on top of the High Templar, so no more storms going to be available. The Zealots going to be able to start pushing things back, as we do see ZEST blinking forward, gets one medevac, full of units, eventually cleans this up, and still has a nice attack across the map. Zealots going to get on top of the mines, trying to get on top of the SCVs as well. The Archon's going to be coming through. The mines have already been shot off. 13, 14 SCVs as this fifth base does get taken out. Zealot's going to force a pickup. It's on top with the Disruptor shots and 21 SCVs. Same time, there's a nice drop going over to the fourth base. Our instant recall will happen. Stalker's going to get on top of the medevacs. Going to shoot them down. Oh, man. The GG, so, yeah. Tied things up. So, game number 5, the final game in the series. Do we see that standard blink play coming out from ZEST? I mean, it definitely is possible. The blink area isn't the best on this map, so we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. ZEST coming in with the probe, looking to get some scouting done, as well as maybe some harassment. And we'll see. Looks like finally Cure going to send across an SCV. Cybernetic Core going to be going down. And a Reaper for Cure. Expansion going to be on the way for ZEST behind all of this. And eventually we do see the expansion coming down for Cure. So he's waiting for that 400 minerals to be able to throw it down. So, SCV making its way across the map. Eventually does get to the natural. Sees that expansion has been taken. And will continue to try to push across with this. Reaper looking for some proxies before it does make its way across the map to get a couple of kills or at least try to put some pressure on. But behind this, we do see ZEST going into the Adept. Which, I don't know, does he just keep it at home? Yeah, no, maybe, I don't know. ZEST, I mean, Cure just looking for a proxy. He feels like he's being proxy here, but there is no proxy out. Twilight Council on the way. You see the Adept making its way across the map. Yeah, I mean, Cure just looking everywhere for something that's not here. I guess maybe he just wants to be extra safe, but I think he feels like he's being proxied. This is going to be Twilight Council, Gateway on the way. It's going to be an Armory follow-up here. Has a Hellion. No Starport yet, though. Is he going to go into like a Hellbat play? Tell me he's not going into Hellbats. Oh. Okay, there's the Starport. A little delayed there. I guess because he's going into... Oh, okay. He's just going to go into the hidden mines. Is all it is. Yeah. So he isn't able to see any of this yet, but... Yeah. Third base on the way for ZEST. And behind this, just getting Blink. He's getting that robotics facility. We've got Widowmine speed coming through. And eventually, going to get a Starport with the Medevac. And, I mean, I kind of like it. They're going to burrow pretty quickly. It is a little delayed from a normal timing, but maybe he can get some real value out of it, especially since, you know, ZEST has been kind of opening up into the just Blink play. But already we see ZEST with the with the Observer on the way. So may not get too much damage. There we go. Hussein Phoenix is going to be making its way across the map, and I think once he scouts this out, he might be in a better position. Does it finish up in time? No, it's not going to finish up in time. He's going to scat it out. No. Yeah, okay, yeah, he does. I don't think he sees the armory, though. Here we go. Deb looking to get on top of the Hellion. We'll eventually get the Reaper pushed back. So far, 2 of those probes do go down. Looks like another little drop looking to come over here. Drilling Claws is complete. You have Forge on the way. And does he go into the third here? Interesting. Yeah. Here we go. Gonna go ahead and drop in iMac Pro Pool. Yeah. Yeah, just gets completely shut down. And I mean, I guess the good thing is later on, the mines are still going to be useful, but and I guess he's going to do kind of a Morrow-esque, like just constantly putting in Widow Mines. But ZEST is just on top of this. Let's get a pretty nice hit, though, onto the Stalkers, but it's just mainly shields. Yeah, I guess he gets four probes altogether. That's not terrible. He's just going to continue to send across a couple of mines while he's building up into a third base. He's getting stim upgrades. Going to go into a robotics bay behind this and a second robotics facility. All right, there it is. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. There we go. Instantly going to burrow. This time, no probe pool. Huge hit there. 12 probes go down. And that makes it worth it for Cure. ZEST's got to be kicking himself in the foot here. Sees that there is a third base on the way, so kind of knows what is going on. But I guess if he can get the disruptors out, it makes it a little bit worth it. But does he then go into a, like... Yeah, I was going to say, is he going to go into Colossus? I think he's going to go up to like 3 Colossus, then switch into the disruptors. But we'll see. Sim pack is now complete, so we will see the Marines stimming forward and able to push ZEST back for the time being. As it looks like Cure now wanting to kind of slowly start pushing into this. Does he have... Okay, so he doesn't have concussive shells yet, but he is going to be using the Marauders for kind of a shield for the Marines. Does force another blink back. And if you're Cure, you gotta be feeling kind of in a good position. Forcing out more probes from the Protoss. Really is good. Gonna go for another drop as well as he takes his third base behind all of this. Two Colossus being made at a time. You see additional gateways coming down, 3 altogether. So that's gonna bring him to 5, 6, 7, 8. Going up to that 8 gate. Now, ZEST is forcing out some stims, right? This is going to eliminate the healing cost of those medevacs, and eventually we are going to have another push into the main base. At the same time, the Widowmites trying to get in a good position. We'll take out the Twilight Council, or gets close to it, actually. Gets the medevac full of units there. Not the best for cures. We do see ZEST looking for a, excuse me, looking Cure for another push down towards the bottom, but I don't know. Extended Thermal Lance finishing up in about 5 seconds for ZEST, and I don't know, man. If you are ZEST, what do you do behind this? I mean, you got to feel pretty comfortable taking out some of these drops. He's already kind of redone the difference of what he has lost probe-wise. Okay, it's still down here. Another little attack going up towards the top. Looks like ZEST going to try to move forward, but at the same time, we do have another drop going in here. The probe's going to get pulled, overcharge activated onto the beautiful photon cannon. Stalker's going to try to blink forward, and I mean, the probes are just going to start to fall. They're kind of confused. They don't know what they want to do. Cure does go for another drop, but he's just sitting it there. Same time, another attack going up towards the top. It's a pylon, but that's really about it. Beautiful. Scan goes down. Blinks back with the Stalkers. They're already pretty injured from that earlier Widowmine shot. +2 finishing up. We do have Zealots on the way. Looks like Cure going to be transitioning into Ghost, so going to start getting those EMPs off once again. Has the EMP shockwave upgrade coming through. Another push into the main base of ZEST. Already, though, there's Stalkers and stuff in position. Don't think he risks this, right? Another little attack going across the map here. Actually in favor for ZEST. He's going to start shooting away at the SCVs. A beautiful blockade. Killing off 19, 22, 25 SCVs. Craziness. Really good pickup. Even going to get the third base. You're looking to go around to the other side, but ZEST starting to kind of pull ahead with this one. Guardian Shield does go down. EMP, or excuse me, the Stalkers. What? Oh my goodness. ZEST losing so much there. Another attack down in the bottom. 16 probes as they are just going blow for blow here. Shockwave upgrade is now updated, so EMPs are going to be a little bit better, a little bit more range in what they cover. Man, when you think ZEST is starting to pull forward, Cure just brings them down. It really is anybody's game at this point. +2 is on the way for Cure. ZEST already has his +2. Widowmines are going to reset themselves. And it feels like ZEST can even take a fourth his own. But I guess at this point, he doesn't necessarily need it. He's going to retake a Twilight Council. Or put another one down just in case this one goes down, I guess. Even we'll be able to see the army, kind of see where they're moving towards. Scan does go down, obviously onto where this army is. Trying to bait him into a good spot. Guardian Shield goes down. Zealots do not have charge yet, so they're not going to be utilized. EMP is just going off, and all of the Zealots melting before your eyes. Colossus are kind of by themselves. The Immortals trying to get some damage done. The Stalker's trying to get on top of everything. It looks like ZEST might just have enough here, and we'll eventually be able to push this back. Now, there's still a couple of Widow Mines here that are looking to get, I guess, into the natural, maybe the main at this point. But the counterattack coming out from ZEST is going to be very, very dangerous. Looking forward, eliminating all of the low health units that he can. Eventually going to go up towards this third base location, but there's no third base yet here for Cure. Cure basically just making units, not expanding, not getting more resources, and that is going to hurt him significantly here, as ZEST just has so much more of an advantage with this third base coming through. Now, yes, he does end up losing 5 more probes, but the attack coming out here from ZEST is very crucial. He's still got that mine too. Ooh, is he gonna get another pro? No, maybe not. This time Stalker is gonna go ahead and blink on top, or blink back, excuse me, from the army. Archons are in position. Even the Guardian Shield's gonna go down. Gonna force a stem down. And the EMPs go off on a few of the Stalkers, but now the Zealots going to finally make their mark, getting off another 7-8 plus kills on the SCVs. And yeah, just going to be too much. GG's.